Hey, welcome everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean Natasha. That's what I mean. Why is this light not high enough? Come on. I don't know what the camera's doing. I'm so dark. Come on. Let's see. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, welcome. It is Friday. You know it's a Fact Check Friday. And today, what the hell is it? September 15th, right? We'll say Happy Rosh Hashanah later today for anyone that does that kind of thing. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have you heard the latest news? Of course, you probably have, because let's face it, we're all headline addicts these days. I mean, who's got time to read an entire article when you can get all your knowledge in just one catchy headline? It's like fast food for the brain, and we're loving it. You know, I've always said that in the era of digital information, we're suffering from something called headline-itis. Yeah, I just made that up. But anyway, folks, it's an epidemic. And did you know that of every 10 people who read a headline, only 2 will actually bother to read the rest of the content? I'm pretty sure those 2 are just speed reading robots. Some folks might feel guilty about being headline gazers, but not me. I'm guilty as charged, but hey, at least I'm upfront about it. Unlike some people, you know who you are. And there's this study from Columbia University. It says 60% of links shared on social media have never actually been clicked. People are sharing away these stories just based on the headline. Yeah, it's like a massive game of headline telephone, you know, where you hear something, twist it a little bit, and pass it on. But here's the million-dollar question. Why do we trust headlines so blindly? Even when we know there are misleading headlines out there, what gives? Right? One reason they say is our shrinking attention span. We used to have 12 seconds of attention span back in 2000. Now we're down to like 8 seconds. That's less than an average goldfish. We don't have time for the whole article. We just want the highlights. And if it matches our preconceived notions, we share it and feel validated. Like, see, I knew I was right, but there's the information overload. We've got so much content on our fingertips, it's overwhelming. It's like being at an all-you-can-eat buffet with 1,000 options, and you end up just nibbling on the appetizers. We'd rather assume the headline's true than dive into the nuanced specifics. It's like ordering a burger because it looked good on the menu, only to find out it's a tofu patty. Yeah. Let's not forget about how the internet has rewired our brains. We're constantly craving new information, and the web delivers an endless supply. So we've adapted to short bursts of focus before moving on. Headlines have to be sensational to grab our fleeting attention. They're like the flashy billboards on the highway of information. Oh, and confirmation bias. If a headline aligns with what we already believe, we're all in. It's like we're on a race to validate ourselves and create a feedback loop of falsehoods. Who needs facts when you got headlines, am I right? But here's the kicker, sensationalism. The more dramatic, shocking, and gut-wrenching a headline is, the better. It's like a contest to see who can out-sensationalize the competition when we've got the unsuspecting judges. I give this headline a 9 for shock value. Oh yeah. In the end, headlines are the bait. And we're the fish biting. News outlets are the business of making money, and the more clicks they get, the fatter their wallets become. It's a never-ending cycle of sensationalism, misinformation, and clickbait. So, folks, the next time you see a headline that makes your jaw drop, just remember, it might be more about selling papers or getting clicks than actually telling you the truth. If you really don't want to know what's going on, do yourself a favor and read past the headline your brain will thank you for it. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best censored, that's right, censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Yeah, well, thanks everyone for joining me. As a reminder, stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments on Rumble, rumble.com/coffeenuance/live, and YouTube. I'm also live on some other sites, but no one seems to be watching over there, so you know, it is what it is. But yeah, we're talking about headlines and the fact that we just don't read them. And that comes into play today because it's a Fact Check Friday. And in this fact check, you are going to be astounded that if you were to just read the article, you would have a totally different opinion than if you just shared the article. It's like we're in bizarro world. And no one can do that better than CNN. I don't mean Coffee and Nuance, this channel. I mean CNN, the cable news network. So we'll get to that. But I'm teasing that. I'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. I want to run through just a couple of quick headlines of some other stories today. Oh, man. A couple other stories today. We're going to talk about the D.C. swamp, people leaving Oregon, the border between the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and then we're going to get to the fact check. So we'll get there in just a second. But if you are not watching live, if you're someone that's watching this on video on demand, every day I diligently go through and give timestamps for every article. So in YouTube, you can just hit the little scrub bar in the comments. They'll tell you exactly where all of the stories start. And on Rumble, I do have time codes for everything that I'm doing. So if you're here and you're just like, I don't care about what's going on in the DC swamp, I want to get to the fact check, Tom, just go into the comment. You can click ahead and get to Fact Check Friday. And after that, I'll have some good news to take us home for the weekend. But anyway, first, let's get to what's going on in the DC swamp. Man, can I get this? Here we go. Well, folks, it's like Biden's trying to create a lifetime job security achievement award for federal workers. He's saying, you've been here for decades, and even if you don't do much, you're still part of the team. It's like the Golden Years, Civil Service Edition. Meanwhile, Trump over there is trying to turn it into the Apprentice Government Edition, where if you don't perform, you're out. So, are we watching a reality show or running a country? I'm not quite sure anymore. Here's the story. Biden administration is trying to protect federal civil service workers from potential changes by Donald Trump, who may seek to remove their job protections if he's reelected in 2024. They proposed new regulation. Think of that. More regulation. To strengthen those protections. But Trump allies believes they can reverse it if they return to power. Critics see this as a threat to the nonpartisan civil service system and argue that legislative action is needed to safeguard it. So what is this really about? Well, you've heard the term deep state, right? And those are the permanent employees that run the country. And Trump and some other Republicans have been talking about how they want to replace this. They want to drain the swamp. They want to get rid of the people that have been there permanently that are not doing, what they're told to do. They're not playing politics. They're not going along. They're not listening to the people in charge. They just have their own agenda. And in many Republicans' opinion, well, those people need to go. But Joe Biden has decided now, no. We want to make those people permanent. And in many ways, it's kind of like giving tenure to federal employees, so it makes it much harder to get rid of them. Even if they're not doing their job, even if they're not following orders, even if they're not promoting the agenda of the person in charge, doesn't matter. It's like giving them tenure, making it really hard to fire them. So that's what this story is about. I don't think that that's a good thing. Now, certainly, if, there's a new president, you go in, you should be able to, if people are not doing what you tell them to do, right? If they're actively working against you, you should be able to get rid of them. You really should. Makes me wonder, why are the Democrats so important? Why is it so important that they feel that you can't fire the permanent state, all of the permanent employees in D.C.? Probably because they're all on the same team. But I don't know. This is an interesting predicament. You really got to weigh out the pros and cons. But in my opinion, I would be a little bit more happy with a little swamp cleaning. But that's just me. That's just me. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments, and I'll check that out in the after show. Next up, quick story about what's happening in my state of Oregon. That's right. Well, folks, did you hear about Oregon's population decline? Well, apparently, it's not the land of the dream of the 90s anymore. Now it's the nightmare of the 2020s. People are leaving faster than I can say I miss the 90s. Here's the story. In 2022, Oregon saw more people leaving than moving, reversing a growth trend since the 80s. This is due to factors like the COVID-19 recession, remote work options, and Portland's population loss. Yeah, about 158,000 people left while 128,000 people arrived. It affected all demographic groups, including families. Oregon's population dropped with around 4.24 million residents. So there's lots of reasons for this, but the main one is the hellscape that has become Portland. And people don't want to be here. That's it. We just found out that the mayor is not going to seek re-election, which is kind of shocking. Guess he gave up. On the city, like many people have. You think back to Portlandia, and this was the hippest place in the entire country. Not so much anymore, and because of that declining population in the state. Wow. I didn't think this would happen, but here we are. And you're like, Tom, why are you still there? Well, we'll see. We'll see how long I am. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. And next up, we got another border to talk about. So the Dominican Republic is closing its borders with Haiti due to a canal dispute. Well, isn't that interesting? I guess they're taking border security to a whole new level. Someone should tell them maybe they should build a wall. Oh, wait. Did I start an international incident? My bad. Okay. The Dominican Republic is closing its border with Haiti due to a dispute over canal that would use water from a shared river. The closure affects air, sea, and land borders and has no set end date. It's a response to Haitian farmer groups excavating the canal, which resumed due to the Haitian government's inaction following President Moise's assassination in July 2021. The closure will impact both countries' economies, but will hurt Haiti more, if that's even possible? So I joked about building a wall. They're actually building a wall. they're actually building a wall, and some of the sections actually look oddly familiar to places in Texas. But yes, they don't the Dominicans know? Don't they know that by building this wall, they're being racist and xenophobic, and I don't know what else do we say about people that favor borders, right? Well, that all goes to the Dominican Republic as well. They're all evil. Wink, wink. As anyone else that wants a border. I know, I'm just being sarcastic. But I just thought I'd bring that up because I thought it was a tad interesting. But now, since it is Friday, it's a fact check Friday. Let's get to that fact check. Well, here we are. Now, this is just insane. This is so silly, and it goes with the monologue that I did today about actually reading the article. Here's CNN's article, and again, I've archived this. I will leave the archive to every story that I talk about today, either in the description or as one of the comments. So on YouTube, I will now leave them in the comments, and you can go read the article for yourself. You can fact check me. But here we are, CNN Politics, facts first, fact-checking McCarthy's claim while launching Biden impeachment inquiry. So this is by the whole team over there at CNN. And let's just look at the first line, right? Because that's what people read. They read the headline, maybe they read the first line. The first line here is, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy made several unproven claims Tuesday while announcing a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. So that's how the article starts off. Hey, CNN viewer. Hey, people that read CNN. This is what you need to know. Kevin McCarthy made several unproven claims. Well, we're going to go through those unproven claims, and let's find out if the claims have merit or not. And what is the magical superpower that I am going to use to find out if these claims are true? Am I going to research it? Am I going to do a deep dive? How am I going to figure this out? I'm actually going to read the article. That's step one in fact checking. Just read the damn article. So here's the claim. Claim number one. We got a bunch of claims to get to. Biden family and associates got $20 million through shell companies. Whoa! And if you're a regular CNN viewer, you go, oh, well, I don't need to read this article. It's about a Republican. It's about Kevin McCarthy. And they said that there were unproven claims. That's all I need to know. And that's what your typical CNN viewer needs to know. But let's find out here. The claim, Biden family and associates got 20 mil through shell companies. Bank records, this is what Kevin McCarthy said, bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies, McCarthy said. Well, here comes CNN. Facts first. I'm highlighting this. This is true about Joe Biden's family and associates, but there's no public evidence to date that the president personally received any money. Okay. Are we getting anything that says true? A big green check? Hey, it's been fact checked. Oh, this is true? No, CNN's not doing it for this fact check. I wonder why. But if we read it, the claim is that his family members got 20 million, and they say it's true that his family did get the 20 million, but there's no public evidence that the president himself personally got that money. Did McCarthy ever claim that Joe Biden personally got that money? No. So they're fact-checking something that wasn't even claimed. I wonder if it'll get better. Let's go down to the next claim. Claim. An informant alleged the Biden family got a bribe. Quote, even a trusted FBI informant has alleged a bribe to the Biden family. McCarthy said, okay, we got another thing that we're going to check here. Facts first. It's true that the informant gave a tip of this nature to the FBI in 2020 and that the Bureau had viewed him as a credible informant. But the underlying allegation that the Biden family was given a bribe is totally unproven. Well, McCarthy didn't say that it was proven. He said that an informant alleged a bribe, and if we actually read the article, it's true the informant gave a tip of this nature to the FBI, and the Bureau viewed it as credible. So again, the claim is true. Do we have a big green check mark? No, because CNN knows you don't read the damn article. Let's go down to the next one here. Claim. Biden participated in calls and dinners with son's business partners. Quote, eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions, dinners, resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his son's and his son's business partners, McCarthy said. Okay. Facts first. McCarthy's claim omits key context about what was and what wasn't reported or reportedly discussed in the calls and the dinners. Okay. The claim is that Biden participated in calls, and they're saying, hold on, he didn't give the context for that. It's like, okay, the claim is that he participated in calls and dinners with his son's business partners. Is that true? Yes, that is also true when you read the article. But they're saying, hey, there's a caveat here. Joe Biden didn't know what he was doing. Hey, you know. Oh, and you can read this article for yourself. You can check me on this. I'm making the claim that that's what the article's about. You can read it for yourself and then decide who's lying. Okay, we got another claim here. Claim, Biden's family members' financial transactions were flagged as suspicious. Here's the quote. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involved in the Biden family and other business associates that were flagged as suspicious activities by U.S. banks, McCarthy said. Well, facts first. The existence of these suspicious activity reports don't prove wrongdoing on their own. So again, the claim, 150 transactions, more than 150 transactions, flagged as suspicious, and CNN says, well, just because they were suspicious doesn't mean there was wrongdoing. McCarthy never said that there was wrongdoing. The claim was that they were flagged as suspicious. The Treasury Department flagged them as suspicious, and that's true. Fact check true. But again, no big green check mark here. No big verdict. It's true. None of that, because CNN knows you don't read the article. All right, and we got another one here. My God, every single one of these is true. Claim, then Vice President Biden used his powers to help his son's business. Quote, Biden used his official office to coordinate with Hunter Biden's business partners about Hunter's role in Burisma, the Ukrainian energy company. McCarthy said, apparently referring to Biden's time as vice president. Facts first. There is no public evidence that Joe Biden abused his government powers to help his family. You've got to be freaking kidding me. The claim is he used his powers to help his son's business, and CNN says, aha, there's no evidence that he abused his powers to help his family. They're not even fact-checking the claim. So again, this claim is true if you just read the damn article. CNN knows you don't. Is this the last claim? Okay, here we are. Final claim from this fact check. Claim Biden lied about his knowledge of family's business. This is McCarthy saying, quote, the president did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings, McCarthy said. CNN replies, facts first. Joe Biden's unequivocal denials of any business-related contact with his son have been undercut over time, but so far there's no public evidence that his occasional interactions with Hunter Biden's business partners led to him getting substantially involved in his son's financial arrangements. So again, a fact checker would look at the claim. Is the claim true? Did Biden lie about knowledge of his family's business deals? Yes, he did. He 100% lied about it. But CNN says, it didn't lead to him getting substantially involved in his son's financial arrangements. Well, there's no claim that Biden lied about being substantially involved. He claimed that he didn't know anything about it. And again, so this fact check, what Kevin McCarthy said is true. It's 100% true. Every single one of these claims is true. And CNN admits as much. They just do this little fun business where here's the claim, and then they dispute something that wasn't the claim. And if you read the article, even CNN admits every single one of these claims is true. However, let's go back up to the very first line of the story, right here. Very first line of the story. If you were only to read the first line of the story, it says, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy made several unproven claims Tuesday while announcing the opening of a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. What's an unproven claim? I went through every single claim that he made that they fact-check, and every single claim was technically true. Yeah. I'm shocked. I would have thought he would have got something wrong. I thought he would have exaggerated something, used a bit of hyperbole or something. No, every single one of these claims, every single one of the claims is true, even according to CNN. But that's the statement that they make at the beginning, that they're unproven claims. Wow. That takes gumption, right? To be able to say that. To have that be the first line is that they're unproven claims, and then you go through, you list the claims, and essentially say every single one of those claims is true. And the reason that they can do this and get away with it is because they know that people don't read the whole article. Almost no one will read the whole article. And they know it. They don't even have to lie. They need a bullshit, introductory sentence. But if you go through each of the claims, they're all true. Every single one of them's true. I will leave a link to this article from CNN. Read it for yourself. Fact check it for yourself. It's pretty amazing that they can actually print the truth and know that nobody's going to read it. It's amazing. It's quite an amazing thing. So that is the fact check for today. Stick around for the after show. But lastly, I got to get to some good news, because we got to go out with some good news. Let's get to the good news. So here we are. Well, folks, you know, we've reached a point where even trees are getting government handouts. I mean, I get it. We need to combat extreme heat, but now trees are just sitting around waiting for their stimulus checks. Yeah. The USDA is providing over $1 billion with a B in federal funding to help communities plant and maintain trees with a focus on marginalized areas. The goal is to reduce extreme heat, improve health, and enhance access to nature. An additional $250 million will support urban trees and nature access. The funds come from the Inflation Reduction Act. That was aptly named, right? Boom, there we go. But anyway, this is something that I got right here. Free trees for your Portland yard. Shade, comfort, clean air, and better health. Registration is now open, so you can get your free trees here. Let's look what we got. Get free trees for your yard. 18 species to choose from. Reserve your trees today, and I can pick up my trees at one of 6 coming up events. So the first one is going to be at the end of this month. Event locations include Argay, Lentz, and Hazelwood. Choose your location when registering. Planting available for people who need an accommodation. Let us know if we can help. Well, this is cool. So I got access to free trees here in Portland. Reason I wanted to bring this up is if they're giving away $1 billion in free trees, maybe they're giving away $1 billion. Maybe they're giving away free trees in your city. Maybe you're not aware of it. And by me telling you about this, go out. If you want some trees, might get a free tree. Couple free trees. How cool would that be? So I think that's some good news. Because often we don't get these things. We find out about it afterwards. You know, you talk to your neighbor, you know, oh, I like the trees you put in. Where'd you get those? And they're like, oh, the city gave them to me for free, by the way, past the deadline now. So I just wanted to tell you about it. And if you happen to get a tree after watching my show, man, I'd love to hear about it someday. So please give me an update if you get a tree. Am I going to get a tree? I don't know. I have enough trees. I got plenty of trees in my yard. But I don't know. Perhaps. I'll look and see what they have. I'm not dying for any trees, though. But I'll look and see what they have. So anyway, that's the good news of the day. You might, if you're an American, have access to some free trees. That's the good news of the day. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I have an interesting story to tell you about, and I'm going to go through all of your comments. Hope you all have a beautiful weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with perhaps a different looking background. So I don't know, like nobody cares. But anyway, I'm just saying that anyway. And I hope you have an awesome weekend. See you on Monday. Peace. Here we are. Not a whole lot going on over there on the Rumble. Got a couple people watching, but OX_00 Fact Check Friday. That's right. That's what it was today. Or I guess it still is today. But yeah, if you are watching on Rumble, if you're watching video on demand later, do me a favor. Hit the like button and leave a comment. I will go back and read your comment, even if you leave it a day later. And that lets me know that you're a real person watching it and not just bots, right? So let's see if we can get some more likes. It doesn't cost you anything, and it means something to me, so, you know, whatevs. Let's see what's happening over here. Lots happening over on the YouTube. Natasha's checking in. Doug Christopher is here. Natasha says, thank you. I do observe the feasts. Exactly. We know what's going on there. What's the phenomenon where 20% of people do 80% of the work? Yeah. I prefer you reading the article to me. You know, that would be an interesting, you know, I can't, you know, the thing is, like, you don't recognize that something is happening unless it actually happens to you. And something happened to me recently. I'll tell you after the rest of the comments. But something happened to me that's so unbelievable that even if I tell you, it doesn't sound like it's real. It doesn't sound like it's a true thing. That's a weird phenomenon that there is. So I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I mean, maybe I should make a new channel where I just read news stories of the day. And I could just read them. Not give any commentary, just read news articles and, you know, make it like a half-hour show. Read a couple different news articles. You can listen to the different news articles and actually hear the whole thing. It's an idea. Couldn't do any worse than the channel's doing right now. Is that a new shirt? I don't remember seeing it before. If you are keeping track of every single Aloha shirt that I have, you need more in your life. But yes, I have not worn this particular, I don't think I've worn this particular shirt before. It's a little big, and so that's one of the reasons that I'm not in love with it, because I'm swimming in it a bit. It's like a fat shirt. But yeah. Natasha says, I was a permanent government employee, asked to leave because I wasn't woke enough, although that's not how they worded it. Yeah, that's never how they word it. Yeah. Does this census include all the new illegal immigrants moving in? Well, the census is really interesting. But, you know, they're doing the census without asking if you are a citizen or not. It is shocking, the demographic changes here in Portland. Shocking. What I see when I go out in public. And let's just put it that way. Well, that's facts first, changes everything. Not, yeah. CNN is like a child with cookie crumbs on their face, but denying everything. Kind of seems that way. Difference between abused and utilized. Exactly. Unmitigated gall would be a more proper term. Yeah, you know, the thing is, it's funny when when I'm doing this show, I feel like George Costanza sometimes, you know, like I say something and then later on I'm having lunch and I'm like, damn it, that's what I should have said. You know, that would have been the good joke to make. That's kind of standard. Tom, thanks for keeping an eye on CNN so I don't have to. This helps keep me off blood pressure meds. Oh, good. I'm glad I can do that for you. Yes, Tom, let's get to the good news. Exactly. So the writer writes these articles knowing nobody will read them. Depressing job, eh? Well, I guess it's depressing. I don't know. I guess they're compensated well. Awesome, more trees. Yeah, more trees are good. Not the worst waste of government money. Yeah, I mean, of all the things that the government spends money on, trees, kind of in favor of that. I mean, they're probably overpaying for them, you know, but, yeah. You know, it's interesting here in Portland, they put in a bunch of trees, but they didn't renew the contract for taking care of the trees. And so over this summer, they didn't water the trees, and then a whole bunch of the trees died. Yeah. Yeah. Natasha says, oh, but I like this background. Thanks for the warning. Yeah. 80-20 rule is the Pareto principle, I think. Yeah, something like that. Don't forget to tell us about the unreal thing that happened to you. I don't really keep track of your shirts that much. Just appreciate how well the pattern is matched across the front opening, which I've been told is a Tommy Bahama trademark. The seamstress in me. Yes, this is a Tommy Bahama shirt. How amazing if you can tell just by looking at it. That's a good eye. That sounds about right for the government. Exactly. What's up, Bailner? Nice to see you. Yeah, so let me tell you about... I know this is going to sound unbelievable. And I know that you may not believe me, but on my channel, what I have done in the past to show that my channel is hidden is I used a particular video of mine. And I've done this several times on this channel. And I had an old video that got like 1,100 views. It did really well. And it was about the idea of calumny, right? And it was a non-political video. And it was about, and it was called like, don't be a calumniator. And I'm probably saying that wrong. All right. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong because every time I say it wrong. Calumniate. Calumniate. Anyway, I'm saying the word wrong. Anyway, I did, let's see if I can pull it up here. Anybody sticking around, I'll show it to you here. So, first of all, let's see if I'm saying this right. Can't believe I always say this word wrong.
Calumniate.
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 Calumniate. Okay. So I would search for calumniator, and then I would click on videos, and I would not find my video, right? Now this is odd. So if I search for the video, the video is called Don't Be a Calumniator, and I search for it with the name of my channel. If you look here, let's see if I can leave that here. Well, I'll move it here. And if you look here, that's me on some you know, a clickbait site where they've taken my video and they've put it on a site to get clicks. And then here's another one that they've taken the video and they've put it on another site to get clicks. And the third one here in different languages. And it's my video, right? But with Google, and we search for it, we'll see 3 different versions of my video, But none of them are from YouTube. They're all from clickbait sites, which is kind of weird, right? That's kind of weird. But what would happen was that when I would search for it on Bing or on DuckDuckGo or on Yahoo, it would always be the #1 result. And I had, on Tuesday, I had a counseling session with my psychologist, right? And I actually don't go in, I do it over Zoom, right? And I was telling him about this. And so I told him to pull it up on his computer. And he pulled it up and he was like, oh, this is weird. Yeah, you're not on Google. But if you go here on Bing, and we search for calumniator, I was the #1 result on Tuesday. And he said, wow, that's really interesting. And I did this because I wanted to make sure that he believed me. You know, sometimes you talk to people and they don't believe it. But now, and then 2 days later, I go to Bing and my video's not on Bing anymore. And it's not on Yahoo. You know, I'll pull it, because I used to be able to pull this up, click on videos, you know, let's see, you know, calumniator here. And again, now I'm not on Yahoo. Now I'm not on Bing. What's really weird is I'm not even on Yandex anymore. I've been removed from Yandex, which is a Russian search engine. And when I search here on this, even on this Russian site, I'm gone. Now, what are the odds that I'm talking to my psychologist over Zoom saying, I have the #1 result on Yahoo, the #1 result on Bing, the #1 result on DuckDuckGo, the #1 result on Yandex. Even this Russian site lists me as the #1 result for the word calumniator, but Google doesn't have me listed. And then 2 days later, I check, and now I've been removed from all the search engines. That's really weird. That's really weird. I can't explain it. And yeah, I don't know what to think of that. But I just wanted to share that it is really strange. Natasha says, it's nice that someone would mirror your videos in another language. Sincerest form of flattery. Yeah, back when my channel was getting lots of views, there would be these click farms and they would copy my videos and just post them on their... And they do this for any video that gets lots of views. They will just copy it and put it up on their own website to draw traffic that they can sell advertising on. They do this for anybody that gets lots of views. So I'm not saying that's for me specifically, but that's what these kind of clickbait, click farms do, is they pick anything that people search for and then they will post that on their site to get clicks, right? But it's odd to me that my videos will appear in the Google search only on the click farms, but it won't appear on YouTube. That's weird. But now I'm not on Bing, I'm not on DuckDuckGo, I'm not on Yandex, I'm not on Yahoo. My videos are now off of every single search engine. And this only happened literally right after I was talking on Zoom with my psychologist, and I was showing him, I was demonstrating to him that, look, I'm the #1 result on all these sites, except Google. And he pulled it up on his computer, and he's like, yeah, this is really amazing. You are the #1 result on all these different sites, but not Google. That, you're right. There is something going on. And I only did that. I only shared that with him because you just want someone to believe you. They have to do it for themselves to actually believe you. And now, now all my videos are not on any of the search engines after talking about that. Doesn't prove anything, right? I can't prove anything, but it's just very interesting. So because of that, there's going to be some changes for what I'm doing. And like I say, there's going to be a different background next week, and you can hold me to that. I know I always say I'm going to do something, and I mean it. And I always mean it, but, you know, I really mean it this time. Anyway, Jesse says, also, that word is unique. You might try intentionally misspelling words or using unique names like that. It's a great test to repeat later. That is an idea to think about. Doug says, what have you done to be treated this way? I know what I did. I made some... in my opinion, what happened is I made some videos about Joe Biden and Ukraine, and I made these videos prior to anybody else talking about it. Prior to Trump talking about it, prior to, it was like, you know, back when he was like in 4th place in the Democratic primary so many years ago. I made some videos about Joe Biden taking bribes from Ukraine. And that was kind of the end of my channel. You can look at the analytics of my channel, and it was each day was getting bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden, yeah. So very, very interesting. It makes me think that they knew at that point that Joe Biden was going to be president. Something to think about. But again, I don't have evidence for any of this. I'm just speculating, and I'm just sharing with you. It says, Tom, you're about to be memory hold. Oh, well, it was nice knowing you. Yeah. I get it. That's what it feels like some way. So anyway, I just wanted to share this, and I know it sounds like I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. I get it. I understand. And if it happens to you, then you finally get it. And so anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a frickin' unbelievable weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with another show. So until then, peace.